So I was just talking about Tilt 5 a second ago, and I said that Magic Leap was crap, and it kind of bothered me that I kind of left it there because, yeah, that's a yeah. Uh, so let's talk about Magic Leap because it's kind of an interesting thing in technology, right? So they didn't show their technology at first; it was just rumored what it was, and so their CEO would just bash everything. He bashed VR, he bashed video games, he bashed everything because only Magic Leap was going to change the world, right? It was a real, yeah. So didn't dig that. But what was happening was he was a really good salesperson. So everybody wanted in on it. And a lot of the investors were scared that they were going to be left out, that they weren't going to be able to participate. Yeah, I'm freaking out that I got something on my shirt. But they were going to be left out and not be able to participate, right? So they were getting all this money. They got billions of dollars, right? And all on smoke and mirrors. So they show some Weta thing, and it's always that, looking around your house and you're shooting things, and you're like, woo! I don't even want to do that, but okay, whatever. Maybe somebody does. But what drove me nuts is I go to GDC, and so someone's nice enough to invite me to come see it, right? Like one of the things when you work with technology, and like I was working with the Vive and working with a lot of people there, we would invite each other to stuff, right? Like I would invite Shu over from Sony to see the new headsets, and he would invite me over to see his. And like you kind of do this as just kind of like, hey, we're all in this together. This is new technology. Let's figure this out together. Magic Leap was never like that. No, that way. They're very secretive about it, very NDA'd up. But whatever. Okay, so they're showing it. You can go see it. Now they have a Seagull Rose thing, and I get that, right? You want to get somebody who's got a lot of name recognition or some kind of thing, and they're doing art versus violent games. Again, cool with that. Like really good idea, right? But they have a problem. The headset needs a backpack to it, and that's okay, whatever, right? Like when we first showed the Vive, it had a little backpack to it. Oh, yeah. Okay. But it had a really small field of view, which means, like, think about, like, if your sunglasses were blacked out, 40% of the bottom and 40% of the top, and you could only see 20% in the middle, that is all you could see, right? It was very limited FOV. And so the very first piece I see is this Seagull Rose thing, and I go look in it, and it's a tree, which means I see some middle of the tree, and then I got to look up in steps, right? Because, it's smooth, but I'm not seeing the whole thing. Like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? The very first thing in the intro, the very first experience should be show me something where I can see the entire thing inside that small field of view so that I can understand like what I'm seeing and what I'm looking at. Because then when you show me something else, like the tree, my brain's gonna go, oh, there's a whole tree here because I understand that because I've seen this little thing, but you don't do that. And so I'm like, oh my God, this field of view is horrible. Like they just did weird things like that. And that's what happens when you get this kind of hype train going and you have all these people in it that are vested in kind of it. And not to knock the people who set up the demos, but come on, man. Like we just, oh my God, the demos for the Vive, we just went crazy with. We were giving them feedback all the time. We were working on it because like, you're going to highlight this part of it. You're going to highlight this part of it. We're going to do this. We actually did a bunch of different tracks where we set it up where we're like, this person's going to be the interaction thing. And if they fail, this person will be the interaction thing. Or we'll have 2 tracks, right? And so we ended up having multiple tracks because people didn't fail. They actually executed on it. But like we were so worried and like what's people's first opinion going to be of this, how they're going to do this, to when you got the Vive demo at GDC, we didn't talk to you afterwards. We threw you out of the room and we purposely created this big giant space that everyone could sit in because we didn't want to give you the words. We wanted you to come up with different words so that it didn't all sound the same. It was all like it was just like somebody who does this. It was just so aggravating for Magic Leap, who had all this billions of dollars, to just kind of phone it in at this moment. Like, there's so much thought you can do about this and so, like, again, not to knock them, but like the takeaway is when you're doing this, and this drives me nuts because I know on the Anacrusis, we're not doing this right. We're not packaging it up correctly so that when you first see it, your encounter is like, oh, yeah, boy, yeah, more, right? And some of that's just our resources, our limited resources, and what we're trying to do. And so we're going to redo the opening video, and we're going to use that as a trailer. And so hopefully that'll all tie in because I've had success doing that before. It's like a lot of work. But yeah, it just drives me nuts that whole thing felt like once they were ready to reveal that there just wasn't this attention to detail on this, like, just painstaking, like, those things don't happen by accident. Those things happen because people internally push each other to do better, think better, and they question. And they question you, and they're like, what are we gonna do here? What about this? How's this gonna go? What about this? Like, you gotta do that to each other. And yeah, I almost go restart this because I feel like I'm just all over the place. But I mean, that is kind of the thing of when I joke of everything matters and nothing matters. This is a really good example of worry about everything, and then when you're about to go, here's an example. Okay, here's an example. Look at this takeaway like 30 minutes in. We told every single developer for the Vive that there would be nobody there talking to them and that they would have to figure out the experiences for themselves just in the headset. And then 2 weeks before we went out to GDC, I said, actually, there's gonna be someone talking to them on a headset. I was always planned that way. Where do people stumble? Let us know. We will prep and train for that. And that's what we did. We had those people come in and they trained so that they understood, here's where people stumble. We're going to make them have that experience with as little impact of us on their experience and just have them soak it up. We had it was Jake, but still, my friend Jake was crying afterwards. Because it was so impactful, right? Because we thought about those things, and you just have to do that when you release something. And again, this drives me nuts with Anna Chris is that I don't feel like we have that, and I don't know if we have the resources to do that. But like, if you do have the resources, think about that, or the time. I guess if we had more time, we just don't have more time. We have to go. But like, there are a time when that attention to detail and that pushing and that ownership and that not buying the hype and not thinking that that's gonna just coast you on, that you, like, everyone who touches your thing is gonna doubt it and hate it. And if you start from there, like, you get so precious and make sure you want to make it so good, and like, you think about every little piece of it. And it's just not me, right? Like, there's a whole bunch of people that came in and helped and really kind of thought through this and talked through this. And so that's why you ask for help, right? But like, yeah, man, think about those things, because that is those encounters, those first experiences, and those how you think about it really make an impact. And this is the most wandering of things. I should just start. Where's the cats? So I'm gonna bring the cats in. Sorry. Just it bothered me that I said that Magic Leap was crap, and it is, but like, why it is and why it drove me nuts and why that particularly kind of got to me, that's the reason why. Hope you stayed to the end. Hi.